All right, I hope you were watching yesterday. Right here on First Take, we dove into James Harden's statements comparing himself to Hall of Famer Allen Iverson as it pertained to dealing with the critics and just being himself in the prime of his career. Well, Max, he was not quite on board with the argument, saying Harden has the ability to be clutch, but has yet to prove himself in that regard. Kendrick Perkins jumped right off, telling Max he needs to put some respect on Harden's name because he is a killer. And Perk later on tweeted these numbers for Maxey and Harden critics. Harden posted averages of 35, 7, and 5 against the nearly full-strength Warriors last season in the West semifinals, losing in 6 games. Meanwhile, Kawhi Leonard averaged 29, 9, and 4 against the depleted Warriors as his Raptors took out Golden State in 6. And look who's back with us. Kendrick Perkins right here to dive right back in, give it right here to Max. So, Max, here's the question. Are you ready to admit that Harden is clutch?
No, of course not. I think he's trending in that direction. His performances have gotten better and better, but he took 36 more shots in that series than Kawhi did to put up a few more points. And listen, forget about, look, I could talk to you about PER. And Perk, the reason I say PER is because you're going to throw points, rebounds, and assists and steals at me, kind of the classical stats, the counting numbers. PER is an efficiency stat, also not the best one, but it really deals with the numbers that you like in one number. So I'll just tell you, Harden's PER is MVP level in the regular season, all-star level, it's solid all-star, but not MVP in the playoffs. Opposite for Kawhi, all-star in the regular season, although high all-star, MVP in the playoffs. In the high 20s and low 30s in the playoffs for Kawhi, and then the mid-20s for Harden, right? But forget about all that. You'll say, oh, there's numbers and numbers. So I have a bunch of stuff here to remind you of, okay? I have it written down so I can remind you of it. Game 7, okay? Harden's played in 3 Game 7s in his career. He's a combined 8 for 28 from 3 in that span. That's 28%. That includes the 2018 West Finals versus the Warriors, where in Game 7 he went 2 for 13 from 3. Kawhi, on the other hand, dropped 41 in Game 7 versus the Sixers last year with the game winner. There are lots of examples from like that. They were tied 3-3 in Philly in that Game 7. He hits the game winner. Down 0-2 to Milwaukee in the same playoffs. Game 3 drops 36 points down 0-2, and they won. Tied 2-2 to Milwaukee. Game 5 on the road drops 35 points and wins. Tied 1-1 to the Warriors. Going back to Oracle on the road, drops 36 and 30 to win Games 3 and 4. Meantime, Harden's dribbling out of bounds, jumping under Draymond's legs, looking for the call, but not hitting the shot. So whether you do it by numbers or just by memory of those big moments, when it matters most, Kawhi shows up big and Harden doesn't, not yet.
Well, Max, since you want to throw out all the 50-point triple-doubles and the 60-point triple-doubles and you want to go to clutch moments in the playoffs, James Harden been the killer. And guess what? I bought 2 clips on, a little present for you. Go ahead and run them for him, Charlie. And one of them is against your boy Kawhi, and one of them is against the 73-9 Warriors, since you called him not clutch. Here it is against the Spurs. He on the court with with Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. What'd he do? Nah, I'm going to take this on and hit this dagger 3 in the crucial Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals. Moving on. Here go this game winner against the 73-9 Warriors. And when you talk about James Harden, Max, you always want to bring up the clutch performances and what he do in the playoffs. Well, guess what? I remember in 2015, they were down 3-1 to the Los Angeles Clippers. Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, they was predicted to come out of the Western Conference Finals. James Harden came back. He averaged 25, 8, 8, had 31 in Game 7. Max, I remember in Oklahoma City when we swept the Dallas Mavericks in the closeout game on the road. We down 13 in the 4th quarter. Guess what? We didn't get a ball to Kevin Durant. We didn't get a ball to Russell Westbrook. We gave a ball to James Harden, who finished the game with 29 points and had 19 and had 19 of those points in the 4th quarter to sweep the defending champs.
The postseason's 2 months long in the NBA. If you're on a great team or if you're a great player, you're going to play in a lot of playoff games.
No, Max, you said...
I'm not saying Harden's never hit a clutch shot. I'm saying consistently his performance declines under pressure.
No, you said he wasn't clutch. You said he wasn't a killer. I pulled
That
up
doesn't
the
mean you've
video
never
footage.
hit a clutch shot
I had
in
a
your life.
wire on me, and he hit a few of them, and he carried us in the fourth quarter.
A few of
to
them
beat
out
the
of many
defending
tries.
champs. What else he had to do? Also, Max, in
His
2019
percentages
against
go
one of the
down
greatest,
when it matters most. Kawhi's go up.
In 2019 against one of the greatest teams ever assembled.
And right now it's getting the Clippers to the finals.
We know who we are. We know we stack up against the best in the league.
The Clippers win round one with the Lakers.
Kawhi Leonard is better than LeBron James. That's the Lakers' problem.
James step back, knocked out of his hands.
Can you describe the challenge defensively when LeBron? No challenge.
The league is not what it is if the Lakers are not winning.
LeBron James putting on the finishing touches.
I want to see the two teams in LA going at each other's neck.
This is what the NBA is about.
All right, we are down to single digits, 9 days before the real games begin. Until then, we got scrimmages to hold us over, and those begin tomorrow for the Los Angeles Clippers and many other teams. They play the Magic. Needless to say, the entire team is ready to get back to work. Hello, Paul George. Hello, head coach Doc Rivers, who is excited for the games, but he's also looking at the big picture. Listen.
The league's been great. They really have been, they've done everything right as far as I'm concerned. I mean, when you think about that, we're running a village for the first time. League's doing pretty well in city management. There is a lot of stuff we can do here, but as far as our health, we have an app every morning that you have to do. You're wearing bands. Everybody are wearing face masks, when you're out in public.
It's been good, You're able to be around, the guys that you've been missing for the past 3-4 months. Next scrimmage is just getting in shape, getting our team chemistry together, getting the flow, getting the rhythm. That's what I expect us to do. It definitely feels like a training camp. You're going 2 weeks or so without playing a basketball game. But I guess the pleasures is, just like you said, team bonding. Just enjoying your teammates' company pretty much.
See, sometimes it's the little things for the guys. NBA reporter Malika Andrews joins me now live from the bubble in Orlando. And Malika, I know you watched the Clippers and the Nuggets. Both teams pressed scrimmages. What were your key takeaways?
Well, in addition to the fact that Kawhi Leonard was wearing slides that said fun on one foot and guy on the other foot, which was just great. My biggest takeaway from practice is they're starting to finally get all of their guys back. Marcus Morris was actually in practice for the first time today. The guys were just happy, Kawhi said, to kind of have everybody starting to get back out there and being able to continue to build camaraderie. But one of the more interesting things that Kawhi hit on is that it is a team discussion of what the long-term possible effects of COVID could be. And that's not just something that is happening on the side of the Clippers. Another conversation, another team that is having that discussion is the Denver Nuggets, because they are a team that is only expected to have 9 players available for their first scrimmage. And Nikola Jokic said, yeah, you know what? It is something that I think about, but guess what? We played a game earlier this season that only had 7 guys. So we're going to be prepared for that. And if I have to play in a lineup next to Bull, so be it.
Whatever it takes. All right, another topic, Malika, the league sent out ballots for the media to begin voting on the prestigious awards. And the only games that will count towards voting are the ones that were played before the shutdown. So it's a race then between the defending MVP, Giannis, and the 4-time MVP, LeBron James. And I hear Anthony Davis made a case for his teammate today.
Yes, you heard right, Sage. I mean, Anthony Davis was out there saying that the dominance that he is displaying, let alone that he's doing it at this age, let alone he's doing it 17 years into the league, that is enough to prove to him that he is his MVP.
The things he's doing at his age, I mean, he's playing like probably one of his best years. Top team in the West. The things he's able to do on the floor, especially when everybody was saying, he was washed and he should hang it up and all these things. He come back with a dominant performance, and then just to be even in the race, at this age, and for me to see it every night, things he do on a consistent basis, he's been doing it his whole career, I think.
LeBron isn't the only one being considered for regular season awards. Anthony Davis is also being considered for the Defensive Player of the Year, but he said, you know what? I'm going to leave that campaigning to Frank Vogel and my teammates. I'm not going to make that case for myself. Sage.
You know, by the way, if LeBron wins another MVP, he'll become just the 4th player to win it 5 times, joining Michael Jordan, Bill Russell, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Not bad company. Malika Andrews, as always, thank you.
Anywhere you go in the bubble, and it buzzes if you get within 6 feet of another human.
Really?
So that's going to be kind of crazy. You get a little loud alarm sound. I will say I've had several friends ask me if I could smuggle a bunch of these out of the bubble for them to just wear in their daily lives, and the answer is no. I'm sorry. I just can't.
Come on, Rachel. I mean, all right. I'll find somebody I can ask that question to. I need one of those. NBA returns just 11 days. Our Rachel Nichols will have it covered from the bubble and as she goes out and about with her buzzer in Orlando. Rachel, thank you.
Sports Center on the Road is presented by Rocket Mortgage.
Well, the Washington.
Welcome back to Sports Center. Hannah Storm, Jay Harris, as we go inside the NBA bubble. And Dwight Howard of the Lakers says someone called the NBA hotline on him for not wearing a mask, and he was given a warning. Howard's reportedly been the subject to a few calls to the anonymous hotline for campus rules violations. Lakers coach Frank Vogel says Howard is now wearing a protective face cover.
The information did get to me, and the reaction is that we all should be wearing masks. In and around the hotel lobby and the areas that we're being asked to wear a mask, we should wear masks.